Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, and then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week I predicted that number 1 would be Godzilla, King of the Monsters, number 2 would be Aladdin, number 3 would be Rocketman, number 4 would be Ma, and number 5 would be John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. And I actually got all 5 of my predictions right, which is fantastic, but one of my predictions actually made a little less than I was kind of expecting originally, so let's go over what happened in the overall top 10. Number 1 is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now, the first Godzilla movie from 2014 opened at around 90 million. Kong Skull Island, which is also in this universe, opened at 61 million. Now, Godzilla, King of the Monsters is the latest Monsterverse movie to have the lowest opening weekend out of the 3 now. It made only $49 million this weekend, and originally they were estimating at least over 50, and some were even predicting it would go to at least 70, but unfortunately it didn't even get to 50. It just got so close at 49. Now, worldwide, it opened with $179 million, and according to Box Office Mojo, the budget is exactly $170 million, so that's a pretty good opening, all things considered, at least for the worldwide numbers go. But domestically, this is honestly really disappointing. I thought more people would go out to see this. I thought people were pretty hyped for this. I think a lot of negative reviews probably did taint this thing, though, because the first Godzilla movie had some pretty good reviews, and Kong Skull Island even managed to get some good critic reviews. This is the only one in the Monsterverse series right now that it actually is rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's probably what happened here, which is a little bit of a bummer if you're a fan of these films, and if you wanted to see more of them. Now it might really hinge if we are going to see more after the King Kong vs. Godzilla movie next year. Number 2, we have Aladdin making $42 million, adding to a domestic total of $185 million, and worldwide it is sitting at $445 million. Obviously, this is a really big deal for Disney. It's rising in the ranks as far as the Disney live-action remakes go, how much money they are making, but for Guy Ritchie, this is actually a pretty big deal for him too, because it's $1 million away domestically from outgrossing his previous highest-grossing movie domestically, which was Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows, and worldwide, it is still $100 million away from becoming his highest-grossing film there, surpassing Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows again. So pretty soon, Aladdin is going to become the highest-grossing Guy Ritchie film domestically and worldwide, and that's honestly pretty astonishing. I'm happy for the guy, obviously. He has a really big hit on his hands. I wish it were a better movie that were taking these spots on his list, though, because I actually do like Sherlock Holmes 2, A Game of Shadows, a lot, but, you know, it's Disney and it's Aladdin, so of course people are going to go see what they already kind of recognized beforehand. Number 3, we have Rocketman making $25 million, adding to a worldwide total of $56 million. Now, the budget is $40 million. It needs to get to 80 to be considered a success, but it's definitely gonna get there. It only needs $24 million more to do so, and it's going to be considered a success. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it got to the tripling point of its budget, which is fantastic. I saw this movie this weekend. I'm going to try to get a review out this week now that my schedule is kind of getting a little bit looser as the year comes to an end for school, and I really am happy that people are going out to see it as much as probably a lot of people do want to go see Aladdin and Godzilla still. I'm still really happy that people went out to see Rocketman. Number 4, we have Ma making $18 million, adding to a worldwide total of $21 million, so a little bit of a difference there, and it's on a budget of only $5 million. So of course this is a Blumhouse movie, so they're going to keep it really cheap. This is obviously a really good opening because worldwide it has already quadrupled that $5 million budget as expected. With a lot of Blumhouse movies, though, that they're going to do really well because the budgets are so low anyways. Number 5, we have John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum making $11 million, adding to a domestic total of $125 million, and worldwide it is already sitting at $221 million. This is the only John Wick film to make it over $200 million worldwide, which is... I'm just so happy to see that. Honestly, I'm really happy that more people have gone out to see these John Wick movies as time has gone on since 2014. I'm just so happy to see that more fans have come to support these films financially because now they're making a 4th one, and it's going to be really interesting to see how well that movie does in comparison to this one, financially, that is. Number 6, we have Avengers Endgame making $7 million, adding to a domestic total of $815 million, and worldwide it is sitting at $2.713 billion, which is exactly 75 25 million away from outgrossing Avatar's worldwide total record, and I think we might be able to see this happen next week. Maybe that's a little too soon to judge. Maybe it's the next 2 weeks that it needs in order to do that, but we're getting real close, and I think we definitely will be seeing this happening very soon, which is fantastic. If it happens while it's still in the top 10, obviously I'll report on it, and I'll be really happy to talk about. Number 7, we have Pokemon Detective Pikachu making 6 million, adding to a domestic total of 130 million, and worldwide it is sitting at $392 million. Now, worldwide, the interesting about this is that the director, Rob Letterman, he's directed some other films like Monsters vs. Aliens, Goosebumps, Gulliver's Travel, Shark Tale. This is actually, worldwide, this is his highest grossing film, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, which is very good. I'm sure Rob Letterman must feel really good about this because this was also a good movie. To have a good movie be your highest grossing one is also that's something to be proud of. Domestically, this is only his second highest grossing movie, though, and I don't think it will become his highest grossing film domestically, though, because currently Detective Pikachu is 68 million behind Monsters vs. Aliens, which is his highest grossing one domestically. But this is still really good that worldwide that this has become his highest grossing film. He's got to feel real proud of himself there. Honestly, I really do think we'll be hearing more talk of a sequel very soon. We heard a little bit of it like a couple weeks ago, but I think we're going to start to hear more of it as time goes on now. Number 8, we have Booksmart making 3 million, adding to a domestic total of 14 million. It has doubled its $6 million budget. The budget has been released according to Wikipedia, so it was able to double that and make 2 million over that, which is fantastic. And though there is no worldwide total, it's already been distributed through Netflix, so of course there's not going to be a worldwide total because it's on a streaming service. So they keep their numbers very hidden. So I think it's very safe to say that Booksmart is a very good success for the limited kind of audience it's kind of aiming at in competition with all these big blockbusters. It was actually able to still double its budget in the midst of all these big movies, which is something that Olivia Wilde should feel really proud of. And I hope she gets to direct more movies because this is a really good one. Number 9 is Brightburn, making $2 million, adding to a domestic total of 14 million. It suffered from a really big drop last weekend. Pretty big shame if you were a fan of it like myself. Worldwide, though, that adds to a total of $24 million, which is quadrupling its $6 million budget. So hey, domestically it may not be a huge hit, but even there it was still able to double its budget, and adding to the worldwide numbers, it has in total quadrupled its budget. So a pretty good limited success as well. And finally, closing out the video, number 10, The Hustle, making $1 million, adding to a domestic total of 33 million, and worldwide it is sitting at 73 million. And according to its budget of $21 million, it was able to triple that budget. So congratulations, The Hustle. Now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. Number 1, you might call me crazy, but I'm going with The Secret Life of Pets 2 because the first movie opened with $100 million, around that, and that was insane. And no X-Men film has ever gotten that close, but like to $100 million exactly for an opening. So number 1, I think, will be The Secret Life of Pets 2, but number 2, I think, will be Dark Phoenix. Number 3, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Very interesting to see how well that'll hold over. Number 4, Aladdin, and number 5, Rocketman. But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave it in the comments below, and if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then I'm sorry. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.